Do you want to be a legend in your own kitchen? How about getting there with basil and turning it into pesto? You can find this if you have a garden out back or if you have a garden in front, farmers markets, supermarkets. You can get fresh basil actually all year round, but currently it's kind of fresh and local. So today I'm going to turn this into pesto. It's going to be fantastic and it's going to last a long time because it freezes real well. I'm going to show you. Let's get started. And this is the hardest part of all. And it's not even hard at all. We got to get the leaves off of these. So just start plucking away. See? That wasn't so bad. You have all those bushy basil leaves, and that's what we get. And that's about, I'm going to guesstimate, that's about 2 cups worth. And that's going to make a nice amount, but it's going to be fantastic. And that's the hardest part. Everything from here on, it's easy. Now I'm going to just rinse off the leaves, get the little bits of dirt and things off, dry them off, and with getting a little cold water on them, it's also going to make them a little more green and vibrant. Salad spinner is the easiest way to dry off the leaves. You can use a towel or a bunch of towels. It doesn't work as well. And just like with lettuce, you want to scoop out the leaves from the bowl. Because if there's any dirt in there, if you just pour them into the strainer, dirt's going to follow right on top. Now these are actually really clean, but it's a good practice to get into. Now it's ready for the spin cycle. I love playing with this. Look at that. Nice and vibrant green. All that water came out. Next stop, pesto. Pesto's been around for hundreds and hundreds and even hundreds of years. Electricity, not as long. I like to make my pesto in a food processor, sometimes a blender, but way back then, and even still some people do this, they used a mortar and pestle. Now, I'd like to believe they use one that's a little bit bigger than this one, but still, all that crushing, grinding, that's a lot of work. This, not a lot of work. Start out with garlic. Now, the thing about garlic in this, everybody says, oh, I love garlic. No, they love cooked garlic. Don't give in to the thought of putting in extra garlic in this. It's just going to give a burn and a bite to your pesto, and it's going to be really disappointing, especially after plucking all of those leaves. Go minimalist. This amount of basil leaves, I'm going to go with 2 medium-sized garlic cloves. More than that, it's going to be disappointing. Let me show you. Like the way I just crushed the skins off, easiest way to do it. And then it comes right off. See, peels right off. Otherwise, you're really messing around with trying to peel it off because it sticks right to it. Look at that, comes right off. It's supposed to come right off, but it's looser. Now, I'm going to give it a ride. First the garlic, then the leaves. Time to give the garlic and the basil a ride. Pulse chopping. I don't want to turn it to dust. Traditionally, the next addition would be pine nuts. I'm going with walnuts for 2 reasons. Number 1, I don't have any pine nuts here. I've got walnuts and they taste great in here. The second thing is pine nuts are kind of expensive and you can have a spectacular pesto that no one will tell the difference with if you use walnuts. Let me show you. Oh, what the heck. Pulse chop again. Now to turn it into the sauce, olive oil. Looks like I'm using a lot, and I am. This amount will probably be at least 1/4 cup, maybe more. You really can tell when it's got a nice texture to it. Let's see what this looks like. I think that's still a bit dry. So I'm going to run it with the oil coming in. Let me show you. This might actually be ready. Oh, I like the look of that. Bit of oil in the bottom. A couple more things I need to add. Oh, look, there's a leaf in there. I'm going to add some salt and pepper. And I'm going to give it a drive. One more, see how it's looking. And Parmesan, always Parmesan. Looks like a lot, and it is. Now let's see how it tastes. Oh, that's good. You got the texture of the nuts in there, give it a little bit of a mouthfeel. Great flavor. Garlic is, got a little garlic flavor in there, but it's not taking my head off. It's a good balance all around. Almost ready. Now, you've already made the pesto. What do you do with it? Pasta is the number one choice. You can put it on rice. You can roll around with couscous. There are just so many things. You can have it with chicken as a dipping sauce. I mean, this is really just a great thing to have. You serve it cold, serve it room temperature. Very versatile. Speaking of versatile, say you don't have enough basil leaves. You can add in parsley. You can add in cilantro. You can really stretch it. There's one time I needed a little bit more. I knew there wasn't enough. I threw in a little romaine lettuce. It worked out great. Not a lot of romaine, but there's so many ways to do that. Another thing, say you're nut free. Skip the nuts altogether. It's still just spectacular. And if you're dairy free, there's so many great plant-based cheeses you can add to it to really give it that body that is such a versatile, great sauce. That is what pesto is. And if you like this, please hit the like button and click subscribe as well. See you next time.